I want to focus more attention on this because I feel it's the main problem we have when we're sharing truth with others. When we get down to the nitty-gritties of your personal life, that's when most of you are going to get angry. Right? You're going to get upset with Jesus, for sure. I don't know anybody who hasn't been, in my entire life, upset with me.
And, not just you,
With God.
God, a lot of us are harbouring a lot of feelings. We've received some truth, and then we feel like, oh, God.
But it's a lot easier to project it at a person who shares God's truth than it is to project it at God, because for the majority of us, we feel like God doesn't listen to us anyway. So let's get angry with the person who's sharing the truth, the messenger, rather than where the message is from, is generally what we feel. That's why they call that statement, shoot the messenger. Well, in my case, it was like, hang the messenger, crucify the messenger. Now, many of you don't realise it, but you're going to even do that in the future. You're going to have that desire to get rid of me out of your life. And I'm going, well, for some of you, I'm in your life very temporarily. Some of you have the option of us being in your life permanently because you'll want God's love permanently. I would love for all of you to be in the second category. But it's going to require you facing this problem that is going to be in everyone who has sin, which means it's in everyone, this problem.
And it's not the sort of thing, even though here's the theory of it, and we can sort of grasp it, but it's not the sort of thing that you can then reach that point and then go, oh no, this is just that thing that Jesus explained that day.
I just calm myself down and
I'll just listen to the truth.
It's not going to be like that.
It's going to be an emotional process that you have to go through.
Yep.
And sometimes more than once, it's not like
on a lot of different subjects.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Sometimes you think, no, I'm actually really humble now. And then you hit another thing and you're like, well, no, I want to fight for this one. Yeah.
And now there's probably on earth about 5 people who trust me at the moment, who trust that anything I say to them is worth listening to with regard to their personal life.
And you know what I've noticed? People start to have the same reaction to them as to Jesus, because these people really honour truth. They don't accept error as much.
Yep.
And so they present truth to you, and then often I see people have the same reaction that they've had to Jesus to those people.
Yeah. And like that's normal.
With Eloisa, Yeah. With myself, with other people.
Yeah. What I would like to see is that you, at least by the time we finish our conversation with you this weekend, at least you start to understand what this feels like.
Yeah.
This internal fight, battle, that you're actually having, not just with truth, but also with God. That you at least understand how it feels internally, right, to be in that state. Because if you can feel the state, you can recognise it, and you can work your way through it. But if you live in the state, rather than feeling your way through the state, you're going to end up rejecting truth. You're going to be one of the many tens of thousands, millions of people that have heard it and then delay the implementation of it. Right? Because of personal, emotional reasons that you're fighting for. Right? And now I would like for you not to be like that. But there's no control I have over that. You are individuals, you have free will, you can do what you like. You can shoot the messenger, you can criticise the messenger, you can be condescending to him, you can excuse yourself, you can do all of those things. God lets you do it all. You're allowed to do it. I'm going to let you do it all. I'm not going to enjoy your company, though, while you do it. That's how it is. I enjoy the company of people who are, like myself, focused on truth, no matter what change I have to make. No matter what I got to see about myself, I'm going to do that. That makes sense? And you, once you start to feel feelings for God and have God's feelings, feel God's feelings for you, you're going to eventually end up being very similar to me. Like, I've got millions of celestial friends, and every one of them is just as bad as I am about this truth thing. Or you could say just as good as I am about this truth thing, depending on your perspective. Right? This is why on earth very few people hear a celestial spirit speak. Because the error is fighting for itself. Now, your spirit guides, your spirit friends, they would love to have you change on this issue. Because if you change on the issue, you're going to be much more open to hearing truth, to progressing, to making changes while you're here on earth. And the immense benefits of that you will experience if you do that. But it's going to be tough initially because sin wants itself to survive. And that's going to be the battle. And in fact, if you've ever read the Paget messages, there's a message in there that says the real battle, we were talking about war, like the First World War, the Second, we were talking about at the time in context. But I said to Ned, the real battle is not the war. The real battle is the individual's own fight with his own sin. This is going to be the thing you find the hardest in your life. It's going to be harder than anything else you do. Harder than anything else you try to achieve in your life will be your own battle with your own sin. Right? And it's a fight that is worth winning. It's a fight you can win. You see, the world's religions, and particularly the Christian faith, will tell you you're a condemned sinner, you will never win. And I'm saying to you, that's not true. You can win the battle with your sin. But it's going to be a battle. It's not going to be a walk in the park. And most people who hear, spiritual speakers speak, they want to hear, it's going to be easy. There's this mystical easy road. It's just going to be a breeze. And, if we do this and we do that, you're just going to breeze through life and everything's going to be fine. And they're full of crap. It's not true. The battle with your sin is a difficult battle. It can be won, but it's going to require sincerity on your part. It's going to require a sincere desire and effort on your part to do it. And most of you at this stage don't even know what your sins are yet. You've got to identify every one of them in order to win the battle. God's love coming to your soul is going to help you do all of that. It's going to expose the sin within you. Every little bit of love that comes is just going to make you more aware of the sin that exists or is present. That's what it does. It's like shining a light on the darkness within. Right? And you've got to let yourself go through that process, and not even let yourself, but eventually love it. Love the process. And that once you come to love the process, things will change immensely for you. Yeah?